You want a little cheat? I'll give you a little cheat. I'll give you this one little tidbit in this video. Okay. The one little tidbit that I will give you is when you get ready to close escrow. So let me tell you about most real estate agents. And real estate agents don't take offense to this because guess what? I was you for a decade. I was literally like an agent and I was like that girl, right? I had billboards everywhere in California. Like people still talk about it to this day. I was running ads on TV, on radio. Like I was like really in this thing, right? And I would be getting clients into property so fast. Like I remember one time I had a client and they were looking for a 5-bedroom, 3-bath. So, they trying to get ahead of me, but I had already looked at what needed to be looked at. Okay. So they were like, oh, we found the perfect house and we want to go see it today. And I was like, okay, where is it? They told me a house. I said, I already have that under contract with another client. And we went under contract a week ago, right? So they were in it before I met you and we were in it. Ended up finding them a beautiful home nonetheless. And it was in a really hot, popular market. But here's the thing. I knew how to get people into houses, baby. I was like that girl, like, oh, you want a house? Got you, right? And so in Cali, the median home price was $500,000. So my commission was anywhere between 12 if they pay a little less than 3%, or 15,000, right? So I was like, knocking it down, knocking it down, knocking it down. Let me tell you something that I never learned with all my years of being a real estate agent. I knew how to get you in, but I never knew how to keep you in nor get you out. And that is the significant difference. If you are in the market to sell your home or buying a new home anytime soon, I understand that the majority of you, are going to do FHA because you really don't have the down payment. Let's set that conversation between you and I aside for another day. I want to talk to the people who have 20% to put down, who are probably selling a home and taking that equity and rolling it over into their new home or an investment property and rolling it over. Mind you, everything that I'm talking about doesn't just apply to homes that you're going to live in. It also applies to investment property. But let's just stick with the homeowner. You got 20% to put down. And guess what y'all going to say? If you had 20% to put down and I said, don't put 20% down, what you going to say? Oh, we got PMI. Y'all really be thinking y'all know something, huh? Oh, we got PMI. The banks are so tricky. Their job is to take your money, baby. So why are you listening to people who trying to rob you? Why wouldn't you listen to somebody who's trying to help you? And if you want to know how much money I can save you, I'm going to give you the link to my calculator that I developed. I'm so proud of it, right? Most mortgage calculators tell you how much it's going to cost you. I'm going to tell you how much I can save you. With that being said, so you're going to say, I'm going to put 20% down because it's smarter to do this, or I'm going to pay cash for a house. You're a fool either way. I'm sorry. You're a fool either way. And let me tell you why. First of all, you're always under the assumption that property values go up. I think that's a very odd assumption. You know why I think that's an odd assumption? Because what goes up must come down, or it might stay the same. So let's just break down a scenario. Actually, I put a similar scenario in my book. I'm pretty sure I didn't take it out. So you have a property. It rose in equity $100,000, which is really good, actually, right? The average home just don't jump $100,000 out the blue, right? You've been in it for a little minute. But let's just say, boom, 2 years in, you got $100,000, and I always tell you guys, if you've been in for 2 years, that's the time for you to sell, right? So now you're in a property. You've been in there for 2 years, and now you're not going to pay capital gains tax. That's another thing to consider. I'll tell y'all a story about that. And this football player that I sold him a house, and he was a draft pick for the Oakland Raiders, and he still owe me money to this day, but I ain't gonna talk about that right now. So you get ready to sell your house. Now you get ready to sell your house, you got to pay commission to the seller's agent and the buyer's agent. That's 6%, right? So what's 6% of whatever your home is? So let's say it's a $500,000 home. You got $100,000 in equity. So now you got to pay 6% on that $500,000. What's that? What'd you say? 30,000. Oh, okay. So now you're down to 70. Now you got 70,000. Things get a little hot in here, huh? So now you want to roll that money over into a new house. So let's say that the new house that you're buying, you're downsizing, right? So that 70,000 got to stretch, right? It really got to stretch because now you need the 20% down. What if I told you that I can tell you how to strategically take that same 20% where you put it and invest it the right way, going into a property? Let's use 500,000 for an example, because I'm like, that's a nice round number that people can relate to. And in a lot of places, you can actually get a home for that much. So 500,000, you go into the house. So instead of you taking $100,000, which is 20% of a $500,000 home, and you just throwing it to the bank, who ain't gonna do nothing but spend your money on yachts? How about you take that money and divest it in different ways, strategically investing the money? One thing that I'll tell you, I'll give you a little, you want a little cheat? I'll give you a little cheat. I'll give you this one little tidbit in this video. Okay. The one little tidbit that I will give you is when you get ready to close escrow, when you're ready to sign them papers, and they ask you, when do you want to pay your mortgage payment? They're going to give you up to, I think it's 45 days if I'm not mistaken. Don't do it. Do not do it. And let me tell you why. Because that benefits the bank and not you, and they will gladly allow you to do it, baby, because while you sitting there waiting and thinking you got over and you get to save a little bit more money, the amount of money you're going to pay in interest because you didn't make that first payment right there at the escrow table with the attorney or the title company and your real estate agent, you're going to regret that for the rest of your life. I promise you. So listen to your auntie. I have been in real estate for many, many years. I bought my first home in my 20s. I've owned multiple properties. I've taught tons of investment classes. My first 4 houses I bought before I even hit the age of 40. And we're talking, the first home was almost 200. The second home was almost 300. The third home was 500. My fourth home was 800. So I've owned properties in all different income brackets, right? And price brackets. And I'm telling you right now, I learned so much, not just from my wins, because I've made tons. I made well over $1 million cash in real estate, straight up. But I would have made significantly more if I had a me. You have a me. So if you want to know these tips and secrets and things, and you want to keep it in the family, then comment home at the bottom and I will send you the link to grab my book. It's only $197 and it can save you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like, don't play with me. Don't play in my face. Don't be like, that's expensive for a book. What, you want to buy a course? Would you rather I call it a course? Would that make it more comfortable for you if I called it a course? But the difference between a course and my textbook is that I can guarantee that if you follow my method, you're going to have some success. Right. A course can't do that for you. They can give you the probabilities. I have courses too. You want a course? I have a tax lien course that you can get from me right now so that you can invest, because there's only certain things that you can invest in and get a guaranteed income, and I teach you one of them. Okay? So if you really are serious about really owning the really controlling the asset the way that the wealthy control their assets, then you need to watch this video again, and you need to understand exactly what I'm trying to teach you, and tap in and log in with me and grab the book. It's only $197. You're going to spend that on hot wings in 2 months. And Hennessy. All right, have a good day. Love you. Bye.